Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
How are we all doing, guys? How are you today? Kirk, you all right, mate?
Yeah, we got an extra hour of sleep, didn't we? Because the clocks went back.
Yeah, something like that.
I was woken up by some bastard outside at 10 to 4, revving a fucking one of those, what was it, 125 bikes? What are you even doing on the road with one of those? Can you imagine how loud the revs are? I was furious.
Probably delivering your pizza. It's probably delivering your pizza or something from last night. Right. Anyway, today's reaction. I'm not going to tell you what it is. So I get to pick a lot of the videos that we do on the channel. Andy and Kirk, you guys don't have a clue usually of what I'm picking, as it's a great way to find out if you know these bands. So it might be that we put this video on and you guys will go, yeah, we've all watched this video, and it's not really a reaction, it'll become a review. But either way, I'm going to set this one up and let's see what you think of this band.
No.
So if you guys had looked at the top corner of the screen, you'll have seen what the band name was and the song title.
Andy, what's the name of the band? Did you see that?
I didn't see the caption, and I have no idea.
No idea. You, Kirk?
Well, I don't know who it is. It reminded me of like a stadium metal version of that band Grand Magus. So what country are they from? Give us a guess.
Germany. They're German.
German.
I hear that now. Can't hear the vocals. No idea.
No, go on. Who is it?
No, so this is a band called Rage.
Oh,
they're a
Rage!
German heavy metal band formed in 1984. They've been going since 1984. Obviously, there's definitely been a lineup change because I swear that guitarist was never born in 1984 that's in there. So there's no way that he was an original member. But
that explains one of my points, but carry on.
So, yeah, the most recent lineup, having a quick look at here. So you've got lead vocals and bass. So that's Peter Wagner. So he's been there since the forming. The drums has only been there since 2015, and the two guitarists have only been there since 2020. So it's effectively, it's almost basically, it's the solo project of the singer, basically, because everyone else, they've had quite a lot of ranges of people in there. It was a request on my other channel that someone asked me to check out Rage because they felt that no one was giving them any love and that no one was ever talked about this thrash band from Germany. Or ever did any reactions to them. So, of course, I said, not a problem at all. Happy to check them out. So I'd never even really heard of them. So, yeah, that was Rage. Who wants to go first on feedback on it?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. Okay. Now I know it's Rage. That takes me back to sort of the early German thrash scene. Noise Records, I believe, is a three-piece. We're at the same sort of time as Destruction, Creator and Sodom, but again, like Celtic Frost, overlooked them. Couldn't say I've heard one song or tell you one album title or anything, to be honest, but that was decent. The explanation you just gave, Dave, about Peter Wagner being the sort of sole surviving member and he's got a band of young chaps helping him out, explains why the fact that he looked very out of place at the beginning of the video. I don't know if the first shot was of him, but there's these sort of young, long-haired guys on the guitar swinging about, and it cuts to him. I thought, oh hello, what's going on here? Vocals kicked in, and I thought that don't fit either. But then after the first couple of lines, it did seem to work. I don't know if the style changed or what he was singing changed, but it fitted really well, and it's down to earth, straightforward thrash death metal. Really, really good. The drums are pounding away all throughout. I really like them. Great riffs. I really like the fact that the solos weren't overcomplicated and too extravagant. I don't do the wanky Dragon Force solos, as I think we've discussed before. The look of the video, I really like as well. I'd like to do something in an old abandoned warehouse with old cars lying around. I like the sepia effect lighting or filter that they had on it to make it look a little bit sort of grey, a bit brown, a bit, it's not as colourful as it might have been in that particular environment. And the fact that it's Rage and they're a German band explains why VR rhymes with here. That's something we've been guilty of in Nomadic Rainer in the early days as well. But that's a classic trademark, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't say fear, do you? It's VR.
VR.
Yeah. Decent track. I like that a lot.
Kirk, what do you reckon?
Andy, can I just pull you up on something? There's no death metal in that song. You said thrash and death metal, definitely thrash. Could you hear death metal in that song?
I didn't. I heard it more. I felt more groove metal in there.
Because to me,
I was heavying up, just the sort of the guitars, really, not necessarily the vocals. If you took the vocals out and put a death metal vocalist over it, it could be passed as death metal. It's a stroke, isn't it? Death
probably
stroke.
like that
melodic death. Maybe melodic death.
Not straightforward death metal, but yeah.
Because
that was before. If I knew it was Rage, and it's thrash all day long, isn't it? But there's death metal elements in certain parts. But yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's essentially, when we use the term heavy metal, that's what we're talking about, aren't we? I think that's the type of proto thrash heavy metal, hard rock as well in there. Vocal, I really enjoyed the vocals. They to me, they almost had that 90s yawl to them, didn't they? Like you'd hear in Stone Temple Pilots and the hard rock bands of the 90s. Good tempo to it. Am I right in thinking do you know what I heard in that song? In the main riff with the skank beats, Blackened by Metallica. That's what it reminded me. Real good, crisp drum sound as well. You'd expect extra musicianship. As you said, Peter Wagner has just brought in his own band now, hasn't he? And he's clearly not going to take somebody from the local pub scene, is he, to join his band? You know, these will probably be graduates of some of the great musical colleges of Germany. Yeah, so much adrenaline. And even though I don't know if I'd use the word intensity, I think I would just use the word energy in there. That would really get me going. It doesn't make me want to, doesn't give me the feeling of invincibility that I can just rip up the fucking pavement with my bare hands, like when you listen to other forms of metal. That's just really fun, enjoyable, headbanging, heavy metal with a thrash element to it, isn't it? Rage I'm aware of. I think one of the guitarists is in a super death metal supergroup called the Voodoo Gods, who produced an album in 2020, which is remarkable. I think it's got I'm sure that's got Corpse Grinder in from Cannibal Corpse as well. Yeah, exactly. And a 12-string bass player.
I swear, when I type in Wikipedia, it just goes straight to your head. It just like comes up, music Wikipedia, straight into Kirk's head.
But yeah, no, they deserve more respect, Rage, don't they? Yeah. As one of the heavy metal bands from the 80s that have stayed the course. So I agree with whoever recommended it to you. They do deserve more credit and more exposure.
Excellent. I mean, listening to it, I think I agree with what Andy said about vocals. When it first kicked in, I was like, "Ooh, hang on, this doesn't quite feel quite right. It feels like it's not sitting in the mix. Maybe it's not layered correctly. Maybe he's singing in slightly off key to something. Something doesn't feel right." And as the song progressed, I actually was like, "Do you know what? If I listen to this a couple more times, it wouldn't even faze me at all. I'd feel that this naturally sits there. It's just not what you're expecting vocally." I think that's what just throws you off when you first go in there, and then as the song kind of progresses, you kind of go, okay, yeah, I like this. Completely agree about the solos. I like the fact they had the two guitarists both played a little bit of a snippet of a solo, and it then went back to the song. I was like, perfect length. You didn't overkill it. You didn't go twiddly twiddly twiddly. You gave a little bit of a showpiece, got back into the track. Love the groove of the drums, especially of the chorus. He just sat there, he just holds the rhythm, and he just grooves in the background, which I love. I love a track where you can just kind of get your head bobbing and you can just lock it, and then when it doubles up in time, you can keep following it, and it just naturally flows. There was no jar in time signature changes. You didn't have to think too much about it. And you know, I'm quite critical of music videos about purposes, and okay, I'm not quite sure what they're going on about virginity quite a lot in there. And if they've got a thing about their virginity, I mean, okay. But I'm not sure what the video has to do with that. But what I did like the fact they did with the fact they've done a warehouse scene, but they've dressed it up, the warehouse. They've done something with the warehouse to make it look different than just playing in a big old abandoned room. So I love the fact they had the vehicles in there, and they were using the vehicles, climbing on the vehicles. They were doing stuff like that. So they took it to another level than what other bands do, which they just love to go nice and simple and be in a room somewhere and play on some stairs somewhere, and it doesn't have any purpose. I don't think it has any real context as far as the actual song itself, from what I can tell, but it was a cool and interesting video to look at. Sorry?
Like, what was the title of the song?
Virginity.
Oh, it was called that.
Yeah.
Hence the mention of it throughout.
And I was kind of looking at it going, I'm really not sure why they're going on about their virginity.
I don't think they are. I think they're using it. I think they're using it as an adjective. Do you know how you would say the virgin snow to talk about something unadulterated? I assume they're using it in that context. Yeah.
Now, normally on the other channel, I would normally do a lyric breakdown. I think we could spend far too long on this video if we started breaking down lyrics as well. So we won't do that today, but we haven't got enough time to do lyric breakdowns as well on this video. But yeah, very interesting track from Rage, and definitely a band we should check out, I guess, in the future. Now, as always, if you like this video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like and share, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.